I'm Jacob Hamilton.
And I'm Hidro Joseph.
Welcome back to the Hardwood Huddle, a basketball podcast where we break down the latest news and games in the NBA and basketball world. Hidro, how you doing, man?
I missed you, man. Haven't seen you in a while.
Right, right. Life got real stressful. Like it just everything flipped upside down for me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's been however long it's been." I was like, "Yeah, this is not good." So I got to lock in. I'm leaving ASU. I'm going to a new school, so that's a whole lot of stuff I got to deal with right now too. So life got to me pretty quick.
I got you. Yeah, we have our busy seasons and stuff like that, but the NBA is busy right now too. So uh, the NBA the headlines just keep churning as life continues
Yeah.
for
Well,
us non-millionaires.
yeah, NBA does not stop for us, which sucks. But we're locked back in and we're ready to go. So, uh, we wanted to go over the most shocking teams in the standings. So we'll go from the East, the top of the East, to the bottom. I mean, we don't have to go through all the teams, of course, because some are so predictable, right? But other teams, in the sense, aren't predictable. Like there's one team in the Western Conference that has been pretty unbelievably bad, who a lot of people thought are going to be good. So, I mean, we might as well start at the top of the East. Like I said, Detroit Pistons. They are 3-12 to start the year through 15 games. So, you go ahead and open up on that one. I have some thoughts
I'm
about it.
sorry, you said that 3-12, 12 and
13 and
3,
12.
Thir- thir- 13 wins and
Two losses.
13-2. Okay.
Have I been saying 13 and 12?
Yeah, I was
Maybe.
like, I'm sorry, what?
Numbers are
The East
getting
is
to me.
not that bad.
No. 13 and 2.
Okay.
13 and 2
That's
for the
that
Detroit
sounds like
Pistons.
a team putting in some work. Yes, Detroit. I've only got to see one game of theirs live. Not live, but watching on TV. They were really good.
Yep.
They have a lot of players, but I did find myself saying, "Hey, I need to watch them more specifically." Obviously, Cade Cunningham, who's their All Star and superstar, but also
Yep.
Jalen Duren,
Yep.
their center. I've been hearing a lot of good things about him, and I'm very interested to see more of his development. But so far, Detroit's been answering the bell when it comes to playing in to start the season. They've been pretty good. What do you think?
I mean, as of right now, this team looks like, I'm not going to say they're going to win the championship, because there's another team in the Western Conference that I think has almost an 100% chance to win the NBA championship this year. But as it's looking right now, this Pistons team is going to come out of the Eastern Conference. I mean, like you said, Cade, who is a superstar and who has had so much hate, I feel like ever since he was drafted out of Oklahoma State. Like they labeled him as a bust. Got hurt. His second year, he got hurt again, labeled him as a bust. He just had a kind of lot of bad talk on him. But this season, he's been insane. I think he's almost averaging a triple double and maybe the second most assist in the NBA. So he's playmaking at an elite level. And obviously, like you mentioned, Jalen Duren has just been insane these last couple of games, kind of getting over the talk of, oh, he's only good when Cade's playing, and then I seen him size up a defender, cross, and then just get to the basket like a
Yeah,
Wembenyama type of style play, and it was ridiculous. But yeah, no, the Pistons, and they're as like, because I haven't watched every single Pistons game live, but I've gone back and tried to like catch up with what they've been doing. They're a team that doesn't shoot a lot of 3 pointers either, and they're so deep. Like you see Asar Thompson, Tobias Harris is hurt too. So, and he was good for them last year. So when he'll play, his production level will hopefully be the same. Um, but they're just all around. Like here's their roster and guys that have just been like their point differential. I just want to say is insane between all these teams as well. But I mean Duncan Robinson, Ron Holland, Jalen Duren, Cade, Isaiah Stewart, Asar Thompson, showing that he's just as good as, not just as good, but good enough to be in the NBA just like his brother, and doesn't get enough respect. And Dennis Jenkins, a guy on a two-way contract right now, balling out. I think he's averaging like 19 points a game for the Pistons. Like, what the hell is happening? But the Pistons are
I'm gonna
insane.
double check. I'm gonna double check that because uh, that's pretty impressive. But
Last
I
time
was
I seen
looking
it,
at
it was 19. I have their roster pulled up right here. Let me pull it up.
real quick. Kate Cunningham is 27.3 points a game, 5 rebounds, 9.9 assists. So basically 10 assists.
Yeah, yeah. No, so these are the last game against the Atlanta Hawks playing 30 minutes. He shot 60% from the field. Dennis Jenkins had 8 points. Uh, but the game before that he had 23. I mean, can I see all of his game logs? Like, I just want to see like just what he's done. Like, this is like it's been very impressive.
Yeah, because he's averaging 11, but
11.
you
Like,
probably talking about in the last couple of games he's just been turning it up, right?
yeah, he's been turning it up for the Pistons, and he's on a two-way contract. So he's just adding more depth to that roster that already has it in Karis LeVert and everybody else, right? So that's that's pretty much all I have to say about the Pistons so far.
Just FYI on the two-way contracts, they only get they're the ones that only get so much time up in the big leagues before they gotta go to the G League and stay. They can't stay in the they can't stay playing for you for a long time. You got to give them a standard contract, and they're not eligible for the playoffs either. So
Yeah,
just keep that in mind. And shout out to Duncan Robinson, left to Detroit as a free agent and on a very hot squad right now. So former Miami
yeah,
Heat.
yeah, averaging 12 points a game too. Like, balling out for them as well. A big factor for them as well. Another team in the Eastern Conference who has been pretty scary as of late. The Toronto Raptors, they're 10-5 on the season, number two in the East. To be completely honest with you, I was not super invested into the Raptors, and kind of when they appeared up on the second in the East, I was like, whoa, like that's scary team, right? I mean, having Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, all those guys back there, Emmanuel quickly. I mean, they're just a scary team. Last 10, they're 9-1. So, and they're on a 5 game streak currently. So they're
That's super impressive.
very impressive as as a fact. In my opinion, I find it insanely impressive. Do you have anything else to say about the Toronto Raptors? Because I have not been locked in on the Raptors, to be honest.
Only thing that went viral was that Brandon Ingram throwing that water bottle and it bouncing up into somebody's face, and
Yeah,
then they had to clean all of the water, and he just acted like none of that was happening in front of him instead of apologizing. So I thought that was interesting. Other than that, no, I have not watched any Raptors basketball recently, and I do need to brush up on that. But I always liked a lot of their players, including Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, a few of the other guys. Quickly, not so much, but he's been playing well this year,
yeah,
and uh, it's very interesting that they're able to put together this run this early. We'll see how that pans out come NBA Cup time, where, in my opinion, a lot of people get kind of a playoff light experience with
yeah.
the NBA Cup games and the tournament, and you get to see people's medal early on. So we'll see how they really are around that time because I pay close attention when they get to the knockout stage for sure.
Yeah. And obviously, like, everything at the beginning of the season you have to take with a grain of salt as well. I mean, like, the Chicago Bulls, when the season first opened up, were like the best team in the NBA. Like, it was ridiculous, and everyone was like, "What is happening?" And now they're 8-6, seventh in the East. But we'll eventually get to them. But
But not in your last 9 out of your last 10 games. I mean, you can't beat that.
no, you can't. You can't. Being 9-1, that's ridiculous. Number three in the Eastern Conference, the New York Knicks. I'll say something. Like, it's interesting to see how going from that Thibodeau offense to the Mike Brown offense, you're like, oh my gosh, like what's happening? Like, Jalen Brunson isn't doing what he normally does because he's not playing 45 minutes a night or whatever he averaged under Thibodeau. Um, no, and it's been interesting to see. It's kind of fun to see. And obviously Cat Landry Shamitz, I think, has been going crazy for them too. Yeah, like
Hard.
10 points a game for Landry Shamit. Like, what are we doing here? like 36 against your Miami Heat, as a matter of fact. I mean,
I think the Knicks and the Heat have played 3 games already, and we're still
that's
mid November or whatever. And Miami went 2-1, so impressive there. I like the Knicks. I think Jalen Brunson being hurt, despite the fact that he's
yeah,
not playing as many minutes, is a bit concerning. So they're gonna need to pay attention to injuries because if they lose ground to the Pistons, the Heat coming up, Cavaliers, and all that stuff, and they end up fifth or sixth, they don't have a path to the championship, and that should be a dangerous spot for them because they are not a team that are one piece away type of thing to where all
yeah,
of a sudden they're a championship team. They think they have the pieces right now, so if they don't, where do you go from here? Who who do you give up? Anybody you give up is going to change the look of your team.
yeah,
If you change Mitchell Robinson, all of a sudden your rebounding is in question, for
yeah.
instance. So
And
that's what I got with them.
Mitchell Robinson has been like good for them this season as well. Like I think like when him and Cat are on the floor together, like they're like off their like rebound rating like is like jumps through the roof when they're both on the court together. I'd have to pull up the numbers, but I just know like I saw it on my timeline on Twitter and I was like, wow, like that is like just to see that big jump between just having Cat or just having Mitchell Robinson and then having both of them on the floor at the same time is pretty impressive. But
Mhm.
the number 5 team in the Eastern Conference, the Atlanta Hawks, who are 9-6, a team who I thought was going to be really good coming into this season, and obviously Trey Young is hurt, Kristaps is hurt, so it's a lot of like the Jalen Johnson show, who's almost looking like he's going to win Most Improved Player. Like I watched him against the Suns last week, and in person and I was like, man, like he's a fun player to watch. Like for the casuals out there, like you got to go watch Jalen Johnson. Like he is an entertaining watch. That is something I have to say.
And that's my pick for most improved. I saw the Hawks play my Rockets in preseason, and Jalen Johnson stuck out then too.
Yeah,
So really like him. They're still working on Ricochet developing. Um, he was the number one pick of the league last year, and they're ripping and running despite the fact that Trey Young has been missing. So when you got a guy that's been missing for a while and the team goes on a run, a lot of
yeah,
people call into question whether you're needed at that point. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
while you're hurt, you get all the chatter on social media and all that stuff, and I hope that's not going to his head because he's an excellent player.
yeah. And who knows what's next for Trey Young? I mean, like I feel like at the start of the season, the kind of the chatter went away about him maybe leaving Atlanta, and then I mean, obviously Atlanta has the Pelicans pick this year, and we probably won't even get to the Pelicans because they have been so ridiculously terrible. But they're looking like they have a chance to get the number 1 pick in the draft this year to get Darren, AJ, or Boozer. So it's like they're just gonna add more young and great talent to the team. So this Hawks team is going to be quite interesting over the next 2 years, what they do with Trey Young and all that. The number 6 team in the East here, Miami Heat. I'll let you open this one up.
I really like what the Heat's been doing offensively. They look way different than they've ever looked.
Yeah,
So just mighty impressed. They're doing it with and without Bam Adebayo. They've been doing it without Tyler Hero,
yep,
who was their number one scorer and All Star last year. So the pickup of Norman Powell for next to nothing, basically giving up Kevin Love, and that's really it. Was very impressive pickup. Probably the most impressive pickup for what you gave up in the league last summer.
yeah,
Um, and then Norman Powell for me, for both of us, was an All Star last year,
yeah,
but didn't make it. If LeBron would have said a couple of days sooner that he wasn't going to play in the All Star game, Norman Powell, as a LA person in an LA All Star game, was probably going to be the pick.
yeah,
So him moving to the Eastern Conference gives him an opportunity to make it right. for the voters to make it right. And when that pairing with Tyler Hero happens next week, it Miami's offense is just going to be even more explosive. Hopefully, it keeps it going. We just need a good healthy squad to make more of a run. So the season's still young, as you can see. You said the Raptors were like 10-5, and the Heat are 9-6, but
Yeah.
one's a 2 seed and one's a 6 seed.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about like
No,
a
there's
crazy
not a
difference
big
right
gap
there.
by any
If
means.
Toronto didn't go 9-1, if they went a healthy 8-2, maybe they're the 6 seed.
Yeah, and that's the Eastern Conference for you also. Like it's so neck and neck just because of like the top teams are just kind of like overpowering in the sense of like the Pistons right now, of course, but like any and what the Knicks should really be, just but having Brunson be hurt, but like who knows? Like it's so open. Like you look from literally from 5 all the way to 11, the standing can change like in an instant. Like you have one night where all these teams play, which happens regularly. It could just change, it could flip around. So obviously like it's hard to really dictate and say who's at these specific standings. But the number 7 Chicago Bull, you hit it on the head with Miami Heat, Norman Powell, and obviously that offensive, just kind of like a more free flow offense. But the number
Mm-hmm.
7 Chicago Bulls, obviously, like I had previously mentioned, opened up the season on fire. I would actually like to see what they started the season as. I don't think I can see it, but yeah, I mean they've been surprising to some, and not playing Noah Essingay just yet. But Josh Giddey has proven that he's kind of worth the contract that he got in a sense. He's been well, um, but like some of these other teams, it's like I'm not really focused on the Chicago Bulls because there's other teams and other players I would really focus on rather than just Josh Giddey, Patrick Williams, and those guys in Chicago.
And then you got Vucevic hit a couple game winners too. So
Yeah, Vucevic. Yeah, Vucevic. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Vucevic. He's been balling out too. He's increasing his trade stock come the trade deadline. So these contender teams are going to be interested to see like what happens, um, come the trade deadline for the Chicago Bulls.
hey,
Um,
did we mention Cleveland?
oh my gosh, I just skipped over Cleveland. Cleveland is number 4.
Because I was
We
waiting to talk about them, and I was like,
Yeah,
actually,
I
I
jumped
haven't heard
from
Cleveland yet.
New York to Atlanta. Yeah, Cleveland is number 4 in the Eastern Conference. They are 10-6 on the season. You go ahead.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so Cleveland, little disappointing that they're this low considering they um, have the expectation of being either first or second in the Eastern Conference right now,
Yeah.
and they should have maintained that throughout the year. With the way they balled out last year, they had the Coach of the Year, and they they got several All Stars, mostly fully healthy from what I gather. I just saw them go down by a whole bunch to my Rockets, and then stage a huge comeback only to lose by a decent margin.
Yeah.
And so I can't really say too much about that particular game, but they do got to get it together because you do not want to fall into that 7, 8, 9, 10 level of team in the Eastern Conference, and it says a lot about where where you stand when other teams are doing way better this year, and like they moved up a level, and you're kind of going at the same level because you didn't really add anything last off season.
Yeah.
So who are you right now? Now
Yeah.
you got to find a new identity. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, adding Lonzo Ball, but like Lonzo has been dealing with his injury problems once again, and obviously Darius Garland's been in and out of the lineup quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, you really just can't get comfortable in this
I,
position, and
I
obviously,
don't
like
know if I consider adding Lonzo Ball an ad anymore. That was a long time ago.
I
He's
mean,
not he's
when he
not the same
plays,
guy.
Lonzo's pretty efficient on the court, but
Yeah, I don't think he's the same guy anymore.
But yeah, no. Cleveland just can't be stuck in this four area. I mean, obviously, like we previously mentioned, it's super early into the season and only 16 games in for the Cavs. But I mean, I wouldn't be too worried yet because you saw teams like the Pacers last year like really pick it up come after the trade deadline and All-Star break. But this team, like you said, that was so good last year and really looked like the favorite to come out of the East. And in this spot that they're at now, it's like it's kind of difficult. But Donovan Mitchell has been still doing his thing. Definitely a superstar. He's been playing like a superstar this year. But so, yeah, shout out to Donovan Mitchell at least. That's one thing I got to say.
Oh yeah, best change of direction guard in the league. I love him.
Yeah. And then the number 8 team in the Eastern Conference, the Philadelphia 76ers, with an 8-6 record on the season. Um, I'll say one thing. I was really excited about VJ Edgecombe coming into the season. I liked him a lot out of the draft. I
You
think I
did.
had him in my early mock when we feel like we kind of first started talking about mock drafts. I had him mocked to the Sixers because that fit kind of just felt good for me. And obviously, he opened up the season breaking the rookie points record previously held by Wilt Chamberlain, I believe, or Elton Brand, one of the two. Um, but and obviously has slowed down a little bit because obviously him averaging 30 points a game and balling out like he was for the first 6 games of the season is not sustainable. But Tyrese Maxey, a guy who deserves his flowers, who's been dropping like 39-point games left and right. Like it's been ridiculous. It's been super fun to watch, especially at work. I look up on the screen and I'm just like, Tyrese Maxey is going crazy again, and I'm missing this game. I was like, gotta love that. But yeah,
I like that Elton Brand pull you just did. I
yeah,
like
I'm pretty
that.
sure it's the most points from a rookie since Elton Brand, and then the most points in a rookie debut by a rookie beating Wilt Chamberlain's record.
Mm.
Thoughts on the 76ers?
I mean, you just hit it on the head. The number one thing is health, and I'm not gonna beat a dead horse
No.
with a stick. It's Joel Embiid. They got to limit his minutes because having a injured Joel Embiid puts a ceiling on what you can do. Paul George
Yep.
is supposedly coming back soon. We'll see how he looks with them, but I my guess is he's going to start off slow because he's an older player, and it's just one of those things where they got a lot of money riding on injured people. So we're excited about the young folks, but their ceiling is just whatever you can get out of those injured players.
Yeah. No. Yep. The number 9 team in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics, a team who does not have Jason Tatum, but obviously still has Jalen Brown, Anthony Simons, and like we had mentioned on previous episodes, they have blown up the house this offseason, trading Kristaps, Drew Holiday, and losing Jason Tatum. So thoughts on the Boston Celtics?
I don't have any thoughts on the Boston Celtics. I think they made somewhat of an attempt to shave cost in on their roster, but not necessarily lose games, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like if they were serious about losing games, they would have traded away like Jaylen Brown or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or because the way their coach is set up, they're not gonna lose enough games to make it worth your while to like be in a losing situation type thing. I
Yep.
honestly believe that uh, where they're at right now is where they're gonna be for the balance of the season, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, yeah, which makes sense, especially with like not this next team. I think this next team, the 10 seed in the East, that I want to talk about. That's been interesting to me that they're even in this spot, but kind of everything below them, like I mean, the teams that we're talking about and that we have talked about already, those guys are going to stick around in these spots. I don't think they're going to really move out of the playoffs much unless Charlotte or not Charlotte, Milwaukee makes kind of a push with Giannis and those guys. But the number 10 seed in the Eastern Conference currently is the Orlando Magic, a team that I think I mentioned on a previous episode that I really was excited to watch coming into the season. Started really slow, just really. bad basketball to really open up this season. Obviously, they're 8-7 on the year as well. I can't remember if I said that, but they're 7-3 through the last 10. So you can kind of see that they're getting their rhythm. Obviously, adding Desmond Bain this offseason, so they're just moving up the ladder a little bit, kind of just getting. They're just getting through the flows and stuff, and I'm not too concerned about it. 7-3 through the last 10 is good to see and good to watch too. So yeah,
A,
and like
a,
I
lo-
mentioned before, like 10 seed and the 11 seed can turn into the 3 seed in 2 days. So there's really not too much to really talk about between like for the standings.
a lot of their start is Ben Carroll injury.
Yeah,
Their All Star last year and former number one overall pick. So um, I'm just gonna put it on that. But a lot of people had those guys, second in the Eastern Conference as their surprise team. So they're not wrong yet, but they can get there. We'll see. And I'll give them I'll give them 2-3 more weeks and see if Orlando is going to be an also ran or a contender, which
yeah,
a lot of people had pegged them as. They gave up quite a bit for Desmond Bain, so I would hope that a contender would be the end result.
yeah. No, that's what I want to see out of the Magic because they have a good squad over there. Uh, Franz has been out too as well. I don't know if you saw the thing where like him and Mo did like the milking thing. Did you see that where it was like a celebration and they just like milked? Like it was
No.
funny. It was funny. It was
Do I
funny.
want to see that?
It was like a handshake. It was funny though. It had me
Oh,
laughing and I
that's
was like,
weird.
wait, that's a little bit weird, but I to each his own.
Did,
Uh, the number 11 seed in the East is the Milwaukee Bucks, and obviously Giannis. Giannis has missed, I think, the last couple of games with an injury. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but kind of like a
I
bright
think a
spot for
groin.
them. Yeah, a groin injury. The bright spot for them, for me, is their point guards. Cole Anthony's been better than I thought he would be for them, and then obviously Ryan Rollins, a guy who has taken a jump. I actually want to pull up his stats because it's been impressive for Ryan Rollins. Like I saw a Ryan Rollins fan page on Twitter the other day. Yeah, 17.4 points, 3.7 boards, and 5.3 assists on 51% shooting from the field and 46 from three. I mean, that's impressive out of a guy of Ryan Rollins' stature. So that's a Toledo guy. I'm happy to see my Toledo fellas running out there. So I'm happy about that.
If we had more time, we'd talk about the 3 point shooting that's happened in the NBA, but that's another pod.
Yeah.
The 3 point shooting is elite from a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, this next team, I feel like that we're about to bring up might be like the second best shooter in the NBA already, in my opinion, in his first year. The Charlotte Hornets, another team that's been dealing with injury problems. Lamelo's out, Brandon Miller's out, so just dealing with the stuff that they've been dealing with. And I think I said it on the last episode, like their biggest problem is just staying healthy. Like they cannot do it, but and they still can't do it now. But Con Knipple, a guy, I think he had like 38 the other like last night. Like I want to make sure I give Con Knipple his credit here because he has been fun. Yeah, 28. Sorry, excuse me. 28 points, 8 boards, and 7 assists, shooting 11 for 20 and 5 for 12 from three. Like Con Knipple is looking like he's going to win Rookie of the Year. He's the number one in the race right now, in my opinion. Behind and who Derek Queen's close, but I think it's like Con, Cedric Coward, and Derek Queen. But yeah, that's all I got to say about the Hornets is Con Knipple.
Yeah, he looks good. He's number one in the rookie race right now. I don't expect him to win it, but he'll make a run. The Hornets got a promising future if they keep their depth, if they keep their cap clean, because I feel like they eventually will start drafting better,
Yeah,
and this pick was a good start.
and especially with this upcoming draft that's like got so many good guys like to like the end of the lottery wherever they land, and it's looking like they'll end up in at least the top six or top five. So if they add a guy like Guy Bansta to that group, if Lamelo's not the answer, Darren Peterson, who knows? The number 13 team in the Eastern Conference are the Brooklyn Nets. They're 2-12 in the season. Michael Porter Jr. is all I have to say. That's all I have to
Uh,
say.
funny podcast. That's about it.
Yeah. The number 14 team in the Eastern Conference is the Indiana Pacers, a team that doesn't have a guy in Tyrese Halliburton, of course, and kind of dealt with injuries at the start of the season. Through the last 10, they're 2-8. So they're just looking like kind of what I kind of thought they would be, kind of just go into like not tank, but just not win any games and end up with a top pick in the draft.
I'm disappointed in Rick Carlisle. I expected because they have fight. I've watched some of their games.
Yeah.
They've been in them and they are losing them all. That's coach. You expect coaching to kind of put you over on some of that stuff, but I'm not really seeing it.
Yeah. And I guess Tyrese Halliburton played a big factor for that team. The number 15 team in the Eastern Conference with a 1-13 record is the Washington Wizards. One bright spot that I've seen for the Wizards thus far, Alex Sarr has been like taking a jump how kind of like he was supposed to. And then Keyshawn George, I can't remember how to say his name, but
Kaishan.
he's been good all season long. He's been fun to watch when going back and just checking out the box scores and watching all of his shots and all of his assists and stuff like that.
I'm disappointed in you, Jacob. You said that was one of the must-watch teams, and we talking
I
about
didn't
one
say
and
they were going to
ten.
be good though. Never said they were going to be good. I said
One and ten.
they'd be a fun team to watch.
Blah.
I said they'd be a fun team
Ah.
to watch. The so that wraps up the Eastern Conference. We'll go through the West here fairly quickly with the number one team in the West being the Oklahoma City Thunder with a 15-1 record. The best team in the NBA by far, the best defensive team I feel like ever at this point in time. Shea doesn't play in the fourth quarter. Yeah, like just everything is clicking. AJ Mitchell, who's another guy in the most improved race for them. I mean, and they could end up with a top 5 pick in the draft this year. I mean, who knows what's going to happen for the Thunder in the next 2-3 years?
The Clippers look bad. They got the Clippers pick, I believe, so
Yeah,
they could end up with the number one pick. Nikola Topic hasn't
played.
played yet.
Thomas Sorber, their rookie that they drafted this year out of Georgetown, tore his ACL. He's been out. He'll come back next year. He'll be good in my opinion. I mean, they're just looking like a powerhouse at this point, and that's pretty much all I have to say about them. They let teams score 105 points a game, by the way, and everybody else is 110 plus. So that's what I have to say about that. The Denver Nuggets are 11-3 on the year. Um, Nikola Jokic has not stopped what he's been doing the last couple years. I don't think anybody expected him to. I mean, it's just Nikola Jokic. I mean, 8-2 through the last 10. Obviously with 3 losses only. Yeah, just it's the Nuggets. Cam Johnson, a guy who started the season off very slow and not to expectation for the team in replace of Michael Porter Jr., but has been looking like he's just going to slowly start ramping it back up again. And I was never worried about Cam Johnson having any trouble with that. So, thoughts on the Denver Nuggets?
No, I'm surprised that teams haven't necessarily solved the Nikola Jokic thing, conundrum, because it's almost like he's the type of guy, like I don't know, like he stays healthy, like he
Yeah,
doesn't miss a lot of games, as a big guy, which is not normal.
no,
Um, Without Jokic, that team is night and day. You know what I'm saying? They almost don't even have a team without that guy.
yeah,
And you're seeing what that looks like when you got teams like the Bucks are going to be missing Giannis for a while. Um, as an example, you got the Pacers without Tyrese Halliburton. All of a sudden, they're in the gutter type there. So it's only one injury away, but for whatever reason, Jokic,
he doesn't.
Mr. Racehorse in the sun during the
Yeah,
off season, not necessarily working out type of thing, or to our knowledge anyway. But he's racing horses, and he's able to stay healthy despite the high injuries that are going all over the league. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
he's playing at altitude. Like, help me explain it. If everybody could be like Jokic, maybe everybody should race horses in the summer.
Right.
and we could keep everybody healthy. I don't know. Just tell
Yeah,
me,
I don't get
make
it
it make
either.
sense.
I literally don't get it either. It makes no sense on how he stays healthy. And it's not like he's in great shape either. Like he's obviously in NBA shape because he's winning MVPs and dominating the NBA. But he's not in good shape. Like he's just not, to be honest. And I'm not trying to be bodyist or whatever you want to call it, or fat phobic or whatever they call it these days. But the Houston Rockets are 10-3, number 3 in the West. Those are your Rockets. So I'll let you go on with that one.
They could be number one in the league if it wasn't for that double overtime loss
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Right.
the beginning of the season to open up the season against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Um, then they would have the same record as them right now. But Rockets look good. I don't really have much to add to that other than I have to let people know that I'm a Reed Shepard hater, and he's shown up and shown well thus
Yeah.
far. So he just needs to keep that going, and he can make me eat my words. Haven't eaten them yet, but he's still playing his game, like staying within the flow of the offense and stuff as he's
Yep.
playing, and uh, that's that's what we saw his rookie year in spurts, but it seemed like he wasn't willing to take shots. And now
Right.
he's doing almost the exact same thing, but he's willing to take shots. And he's hitting them at a pretty good clip. So shout out to him. If he wasn't doing what he was doing, we would be down to Aaron Holiday and you know trying to work Amen Thompson more in the point guard role, and that hasn't necessarily been working out. We've been better off having our superstar, not Kevin Durant, Alperen Sengun, our superstar Alperen Sengun, um, handle the flow of the offense, running it through him.
Yeah. But you got to give Katie his credit here because, I mean, Katie's been
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. Obviously, Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. Like, I have him fourth ever, best ever in
Yeah.
NBA history. But that's in the previous podcast. Y'all need to check us out at Hardwood Huddle. But I'm talking about just running the offense. Like we don't really run the offense through Kevin Durant. We're running it through
Yeah.
Alperen Sengun for the most
Yep.
part. Either he brings it up or whoever brings it up quickly passes it to him to initiate the offense, and it gets going pretty good. He's great decision makers thus far. Made a few game winners too. His highlights are impressive. So Rockets are looking good. I've been going to a few games. I'm going to the game against Denver tomorrow because obviously we win that now we're cooking with grease. That's the NBA Cup game,
Yep.
also. So we need that game in order to keep pace in the standings because we lost one of them. I think the Spurs won. Uh,
Yes. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
so
It
yeah,
was against the Spurs. Yep. And then I'll see your Houston Rockets on Monday night. KD makes his homecoming return to Phoenix, so I'll be there.
have fun with that.
I'll be excited to see that. The number 4 team in the West are the Los Angeles Lakers with an 11-4 record. Um, Luca obviously dealt with some injury issues at the beginning of the season, but came back looking as insane as I feel like kind of I thought Luca was going to look coming into this season after not playing a lot last year and getting bounced out of the first round pretty early. But and LeBron James, can't forget about LeBron James, made his return last night. Um, and I think he had 11 points, almost had a double double, kind of just like what LeBron should do, and just keeping the ball in Luca's hands, kind of just showing that this is Luca's team still. Like it's not like LeBron's back, so it's his team. It's still Luca's team. Austin Reeves started the season really well with like I think 240 balls like back to
Oh
back.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pretty
Austin Reeves,
impressive.
man,
Jake LaRavia has been good for them. DeAndre Ayton's been good for them as well. It's just like
surprising.
yeah, right. And I think I had tweeted out, I go watch DeAndre and be good for the Lakers until LeBron comes back. So if that's the case,
We talked about that. We talked about that in
yep,
Hardwood, a previous podcast, Hardwood Huddle podcast, in which we said between LeBron James and Luka Doncic, both their gravity and their ability to create a shot for you, that will make any reasonable center look way better.
yeah, of course, yeah, yeah, of course. The number 5 team in the West the San Antonio Spurs, obviously a team that has Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, and Dylan Harper. But Harper, Fox, or not Fox, sorry, Harper, Castle, and Wemby are all out, which sucks because they come to town on Sunday, and I will be there. I called off work for that game, and
No,
but I'll
all
still
these
be
people
there.
hurt though.
Yeah,
Wh-
right. I'll still
What is So what is Wemby's injury again?
um calf, like something wrong with his calf. He has
Oh,
to get
okay,
his
okay.
like nothing like insane, but I just think they kind of want to just make sure he's kind of just not he doesn't tear his ACL, kind of like how everybody else has been doing.
The calf injury is a prelude to Achilles injuries
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
NBA.
Achilles is
So
the
they sit out for long term, for long periods of time whenever there's a calf strain of some sort, because
yeah,
you don't want you don't want that to turn into an Achilles.
yeah,
Uh, I need to give a shout out to the coach of the Spurs. I think he's been doing an impressive job.
yeah, yeah. No,
Cause
absolutely.
Mitch Johnson, he's been keeping them looking like contenders, despite the fact that now they've started with injuries. But when healthy, they look good. They beat my
Yeah,
Rockets. They can compete with any of the teams at the top of the Western Conference. I'm sure Denver doesn't want any part of playing with them. That two step between the San Antonio and Houston is a tough chopper for every team in the league right
yeah,
now.
absolutely. Absolutely. They're scary when they're healthy, and I just hope like Wemby stays healthy because that is just such a big question mark for me on him right now. The number 6 team in the West is the Minnesota Timberwolves with a 10-5 record and 8-2 through the last 10. Anthony Edwards has been doing his thing like per usual. Julius Randle, shout out to Julius Randle, man. Like playing like a top 6 power forward in all of the NBA right now, looking like he's worth the money that he got. I mean, shout out to Julius Randle. I mean, helping them win games and all that. Oh my goodness, bro, my phone it just keeps falling. But yeah, number six in the West. Go up against my Phoenix Suns tomorrow night. I'll be there for that one. In a NBA Cup game, and that's a pretty important game because the Suns are 9-6, and that would if the Suns win it, we'll be tied for 6 in the West, which is kind of funny. But we'll get to them. But yeah, thoughts on the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Haven't really watched enough Timberwolves games to make an opinion yet because I've been watching a lot of bad basketball between some teams that don't belong on the court with my Rockets and stuff like that. So uh, because I have season tickets now, so I'm a little bit more pinned in on what the Rockets got going on. So I end up seeing the teams that they play against, and I haven't run into a lot of Timberwolves basketball yet. So I'm keeping an eye on where they're at in the standings, though. I definitely expected a team that's been knocking on the door the last 2 years to get to the NBA Finals to have a better start this year, and I'm
Yeah,
not seeing that yet. So
yeah, no, agreed. And it's still so early for me to kind of just sit like be like kind of count them out, but set the number 7 team in the Western Conference, the Phoenix Suns, with a 9-6 record, like I previously mentioned. Not something that I expected. But shout out to Dylan Brooks. Jalen Green's 1 game back. He had 30 on the most disgusting shot diet that I've ever seen in my entire life. I was angry at every shot that I seen released from his hands, but he still made it, and so I had to kind of keep my mouth shut. But yeah, thank thank God that the Suns are good because the vibes are high in Phoenix. I'm in downtown Phoenix now. Suns Twitter's loving it. In these group chats that I'm in, they're just like it's some of the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. Uh, Grayson Allen before he got injured was balling out as well. Dylan Brooks, like I've mentioned, playing amazing, averaging like 18 points a game. Devin Booker looking like he's the best shooting guard in the NBA thus far through the small game samples through the 15 game sample size that we've seen through the Suns. But Mark Williams has been good for them as well. Kamon Malawatch, their number 10 pick in the draft, hasn't really played much time, which has been super interesting to me. But Rasheer Fleming, our first pick in the second round, has been good in the G League as well. So, and Colin Gillespie's kind of showing that he can kind of be the point guard in a sense for on the bench. But yeah, shout out to Royce O'Neal as well. The Suns are just clicking at the right time right now. It's looking good and it's been pretty fun to watch. 8-2 through the last 10.
without Jalen Green. So that's
Yeah,
the
which
Dylan
he'll be
Brooks
back
effect.
come end of December, maybe I assume. So
You
we
don't
have
want
a
him
little,
back.
huh? We don't want him back.
As a Rockets fan, be like, you better off not having that shot diet in the middle of your lineup.
Oh, trust me,
But
I know. I still have
but
my opinions about Jalen Green. Don't
they
forget
have an
that.
investment in him, so they're gonna let it play out and see what that looks like, for better or worse. I would like to spend some time on the pod, a future pod, talking about how Mark Williams looks versus he was a scratch when it came to the trade between Charlotte and the Lakers, and then all
Right.
of a sudden he can play. It'd be like so. I'm very curious at what flagged the cancellation of that trade between the Hornets and the Lakers last year, where the Lakers gave up Dalton Connect and a first rounder. Did the Lakers just want their first rounder back, so they just flagged whatever? That's what I'm getting because I'm not understanding why he failed a physical, but he's been playing in the league no problem this
Yeah.
entire time,
Yeah, he's
before and
been good thus
after.
far. Knock on wood, because he still is injury prone, so you have to be careful with guys like him who are very fragile. Who
Hmm.
are very very fragile. Um, the number 8 seed in the West is the Golden State Warriors at a 9-8 record. They're on a 2 game losing streak and 5-5 through their last 10. The one of the unction teams with Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Brandon Projemski, who's been quite interesting. Jonathan Kaminga. Don't really have much to say about the Warriors. It's kind of almost a little bit expected.
They had a they've had a really difficult beginning of the season schedule. Not great,
Yeah,
especially travel wise, back to back wise. They they should eventually get it together, but at the same time, I'm not sure what they're doing with Kaminga myself. It's like even now, I'm not sure why they let him stay on the roster if they didn't have a plan in place to ma- make him a premier player. You know what I'm saying? I feel
yeah,
like he's one of those players that needs to be needs to have love or show love. For Miami, it's Nikola Jovic. He's that kind of guy who needs that
yeah.
kind of confidence thing. For the Rockets, and I follow the Rockets and the Heat. Um, it's Reese Shepard for the Rockets. It's the type of guys who almost need like some sort of thing that happens that gives them a confidence boost and it reflects in their game. So if Jonathan Kaminga was starting and you gave him a premier role scoring and all that different stuff, that's when you keep a guy like Jonathan Kaminga on your team when he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
But they did not do that. They had a weird offseason with regards to him. They put a lot of players on hold waiting to join their team while they tried to figure out the Kaminga situation, like Al Horford and stuff like that. And I think it's just a weird situation that you would do something like that. And I think it ends up costing, it could end up biting the Warriors in the butt.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. I'm interested to kind of see what the future is for this Warriors team if they still kind of try to keep this like double thing going with because who knows how long Steph has left and Draymond looks like he's towards the end of his career as well. So it's like I'm interested to see if like obviously they're never gonna trade Steph, but like do you like maybe go check out the market for like Jimmy Butler? Like is that like what you want to do right now? Like obviously they've had a hard strength and schedule to start the season, but
They signed up to an extension. They can't trade him.
oh yeah, because you can't trade them till what January 15th, I believe, something like that. Like you
Something
have to
like that.
sign those extensions. We won't go through the rest of the Western Conference here. Obviously the Blazers just they've been better than kind of thought with the roster that they have together.
They
But
beat the Thunder, the only
yeah,
ones.
yep, only team to beat the Thunder, which is funny. Utah 10, Clippers and 11. Thunder have their pick. The number 12 seed is Memphis. The number 13 seed is Dallas. 14 is Sacramento, and 15 is New Orleans. I just kind of want to talk about Dallas a little bit. Cooper Flag didn't start his rookie year off well, which is no big deal because he's rookie and he technically should still be in college right now. So if anybody is talking trash about Cooper Flag, hop off and give him some time because who cares? It's fine. He's been better as of late. His still plus averages probably, or his plus minus average probably hasn't been the best still. But with no Anthony Davis, no Kyrie Irving, and no point guard on the team, that's what you're going to get out of a rookie who is not Luka Doncic. And I know that's who they want him to be. And so that's all I have to say about the Mavericks, other than that they're going to trade Anthony Davis either at the deadline or at the end of the season. That's all I have to say.
Uh, Shout out to Mark Cuban taking back over and Nico Collins,
Nico Collins.
Nico Harrison getting fired. That was a necessary move, but too little, too late. Should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
And just want to mention the putrid New Orleans Pelicans. They might lose their team if they're not careful. There's not many people in the stands.
No.
They're not
Did you
looking
see
good, and
that? The
they don't
second
have
row
nothing
was
to look
just
forward to
dead.
because they got rid of their first round pick. Go ahead.
Did you see the photo? Like it was dead. The second row, there was nobody in there. There was nobody in the second on the second level.
It's been like that for a while. That's a hidden secret. I think that they could potentially lose their team if they're not careful. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to see something in terms of progress. They fired their coach and Willie Green. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah.
More to
Shout
follow.
out
I'll
Derek Queen.
probably
Shout
write
out
about
Derek
it.
Queen. Derek Queen's been impressive. Super excited to see that. Baby Jokic. But all right, Joe, we'll wrap it up here. Where can they find you?
I am at the Hero Joe, THAHEROJOE, on X, formerly known as Twitter, and also Instagram. And you can find my articles on BellyUpSports.com. What about you, Jacob?
You find me on Twitter at Hammy2004. Hammy spelled Hamie, not Hammy. And then obviously you can find us on Twitter at Hardwood Huddle. The Hardwood Huddle was taken, of course. But yeah, we're back once again. My apologies for that. Just crazy times of life, but I'm locked back in. I'm excited. NBA has been fun. Um, yeah, I'm excited for NBA to be back, and I know it's been back for almost 2 months now. But for me, it feels like it's only been back for just a couple of weeks. So, we'll be locked back in here on the Hardwood Huddle.
All right,
Right at it.
peace.